Alright, we should be live. Let me just check for the audio. Just wait for this audio to come through. See if I. Waiting for. Hey, Father, how's it going? Let me.
Hey, Father, how's it going?
Yep, alright, we're good. We are good. Adam Grant, have you seen King Kong 1976 movie? I have seen it, but that was a long time ago. I think I've only ever seen it once. So, yeah, I have seen that one, but that was a long time ago. So, so before we get into the questions, guys can leave your questions. You know where to leave them and stuff. Like, ask me whatever you want. First off, Henry Cavill is in talks with Warner Brothers to come back as Superman, not in a standalone movie though, in other movies. So it's looking more likely he's going to be in like Shazam 2, the Black Adam movie, or Aquaman 2. They're the most likely he's going to make appearances, and that's what he's in talks for at the moment, which is exciting. Cannot wait. I love Henry Cavill. He's my favorite Superman, so I'm excited about that. Also, Space Force dropped on Netflix with Steve Carell. And let me tell you, I got 10 minutes in and I already had to tap out. And from what I've seen, it is actually even worse. So I'm lucky that I tapped out early. I know people that watched the whole thing and apparently it didn't get any funnier. It was just absolute dog shit. So that was a shame. I watched 10 minutes and I was like, this is just no. I had to like tap out of that. Also, Snowpiercer, the TV show, is dropped on Netflix. I've watched the first 2 episodes and I'm quite enjoying it at the moment. It's pretty decent. I like the element they're going with, the whole tail enders and how they're getting. The only detective is from the tail ender, and they've got to bring him up and do this, and he's got this plan to try and help everyone else get. And it's also a good social commentary as well. So it's sort of like The Platform, except on a train. And it's actually really, really good. So I would recommend check out Snowpiercer. It's really, really good. So yeah. Jay Fighter, please don't let Snyder direct any more movies after this. I hope the Snyder cut is going to be good. So Darkseid, I believe, is now confirmed to be in his cut. So I don't know if he's taken Steppenwolf out and replacing him with Darkseid. That's going to be interesting. But also I don't know if it's real or not, but Atom is going to be in it as well, like Dr. Atom or whatever his name is. I saw that there was something like that. Let me just double check that, because I saw something like that as well. Yeah, I know he was, but he cut him out and replaced him with Steppenwolf. Like Darkseid was going to be in it, but then they took him out. So yeah, so once they took Darkseid out, and I think he's now putting Darkseid back into it because he did cut it out previously, and now he's putting it back in. But is it Dr. Atom or something like that? Is coming. There's another superhero that's going to be in this Snyder cut, so I don't know if that's fully confirmed. There was an image released, but it kind of looked like it was from the CW, like it was CW quality. So I don't know, but that could be a possibility. Adam Grands, what is your favorite 1990s anime? Mine is Yo Hoshiko. Mine is Dragon Ball Z is my favorite. So yeah. Jeff Vedder, that was confirmed like a year or 2 ago. Steppenwolf was serving him, but Darkseid would have always made appearance. Yeah, Darkseid was going to make like a cameo, but I think Darkseid's actually going to be the main villain of this Justice League. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. He's cutting instead, because I think they were going to go Steppenwolf and then lose Darkseid later on in the movie, and then obviously we know how it all turned out, and it didn't turn out well. But I think they're going to actually now take Steppenwolf out, or have Steppenwolf to the side as a side character, and Darkseid's going to be the main villain. So that's what I'm thinking it's going to go down. So, but who knows with this Snyder cut? Oscar Legend, Which superhero movies has the most reboot movies? Batman or Spider-Man? Reboot. So you got Sam Raimi Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and the MCU Spider-Man. So you only got 3. Then Batman's got more. I'm pretty sure Batman's got more because you've got the first 2 with Michael Keaton. Then you've got another one with Val Kilmer. Then you've got one with George Clooney. Then you got the Nolan ones. Then you got the Ben Affleck ones, and now we got the Matt Reeves ones. So I think Batman's got more. There's more movies with different Batmans in it than there are Spider-Mans. I believe that's the case. So, yeah. Jet Fighter, oh yeah, he will be. Especially, yeah, that's the rumor. It's it's 4 hours. So there's going to cram. Well, it's not really because they're going to. Apparently, there's a whole Cyborg like backstory with his parents and stuff like that, which was cut out of the movie. That's apparently going to be in the Snyder Cut now as well. So this Snyder Cut's made me. I'm really intrigued now to how this is going, because if this is taken and perceived very well, better than the original Justice League, Warner Brothers may just say, yeah, the original Justice League doesn't count. They might just move forward with this Justice League. So I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting. J Fighter, how are you doing today? No, I'm not doing too bad. I rewatched some like Step Brothers and Game to the Greek. So, I had fun. Can't complain. Played a bit of FIFA, but yeah, I'm good. So yeah. Adam Grands, if you want to go back in time to stop a movie being made, what will it be? Mine will be Batman and Robin. I hate that movie. Mine would be Dragon Ball Evolution. I would go back and make sure that movie was never created, because to me that is it's the worst movie ever made in my opinion, because it is so completely incorrect of the character of Goku. It is just like they took Goku and just completely made a completely different person. So I am going to actually, take out, if I go back, I'd make sure Dragon Ball Evolution was never made. Even if Batman and Robin is bad, it's nowhere near as bad as Dragon Ball Evolution. Omega Red, how's it going? Oscar Legend, will the X-Men and Fantastic Four and Deadpool will be future event? I know the X-Men will be in the MCU. They will be. The Fantastic Four will. I think Fantastic Four is the next phase. They're going to introduce them in the next bit after Captain Marvel 2 and that. They're going to introduce the Fantastic Four. Deadpool's a bit of, I don't know what they're going to do with Deadpool. I honestly don't. There's talks he's going to be in the MCU. Then there's talks that it's going to be an R-rated one. I don't know what they're going to do with Deadpool, honestly. I just wish we had some clarity to, is he going to be in the MCU? Is he not? I would personally, I would rather, if I had my way, I would have the X-Men and Deadpool separately. Like, I would separately keep them away from the MCU and have them as their own universe. That's just me. I want Deadpool to stay R-rated. I think you could have done Deadpool PG at the start. Now we've had an R-rated Deadpool. It's going to be hard to take that and formulate it into a PG-13 film. I just think they just need to put Deadpool as R. That's just me, keeping him in his own universe. But who knows? I don't know what they're going to do at the moment. It's up in cuts at the moment. There's so many different reports coming out about Deadpool, so it's a matter of waiting now. J Fighter, actually, I think the story Whedon changed was better than Snyder's. Yeah. I haven't read too much up on Snyder's stuff, but if it's that dream sequence, I'm interested to see how it goes. Personally, I'm going to wait until Snyder's Cut comes out, and then I'm going to watch it, and then I'll be able to compare, because sometimes you can read things and sometimes you read and go, well, that's shit. But then when you watch it, you're like, oh, okay, that's actually really, really good. So I'm just going to give it, when it comes out, I'm going to watch it as it is and then give it, basically, is it better than the original Justice League or not? J Fighter, hey, everyone forgets the one positive with Batman and Robin, without that abomination against cinema, the best trilogy of all time wouldn't have been made. Nolan's Dark. Yeah, Nolan did a fantastic job with the Dark Knight trilogy. Like, it's just so good. J Fight, I wish X-Men and Fantastic Four had a chance of being like early MCU. Yeah, look, the X-Men movies are like, so you got Dark Phoenix, you got Wolverine Origins, whatever it's fucking called. You got X-Men 3, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix. So it's half and half with the X-Men. There's really, really good X-Men, and then there's some really bad ones. So I just wish they kept them the same. And Fantasy Four, the first two aren't too bad. I mean, they're watchable. They have their moments. The new one's not the best, but yeah, I'm interested to see how they're going to incorporate the X-Men and Fantastic. Because putting the X-Men in the MCU, you're going to have to change some backstories. Like Magneto's going to have a different backstory, because it wouldn't make sense to bring him into the MCU and say, oh, he was part of the everything that happened back in with the Jews and all that. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work with his character. Being in the concentration camps wouldn't work, because then he'd be like 80 years old. We don't want to see an 80-year-old Magneto. So it wouldn't make sense. So they're going to have to do some shifting with backstories and stuff. So I don't know how they're going to do that. But I'm not Kevin Feige. I'm not the one that gets paid big bucks. So Adam Grants, what is most movies you to see in 2020? Do you mean most anticipated? Because if it's still my most anticipated, it would be A Quiet Place 2 was my number one. Then it was Tenet, because I love Christopher Nolan's my favorite director, and that Tenet one looks really good. And then I think it was Dune was my next one that I really, really, really want to watch as well. So Godzilla vs. King Kong, I'm not really too fond of, because I didn't like King of the Monsters or whatever. There's so many problems with that film. Like, we only got felt like 20 minutes out of like a 2.5 hour movie. So we only got them. And then the rest was all on these bland, boring human characters I didn't care about. So hopefully now, with everything that's going on and stuff, they can fix Godzilla and King versus King Kong and make it more about Godzilla and King Kong. So Omega Red, hey, did a DNA test and I found out that Jack and Kelly Osbourne were on the family tree and labeled a distant cousin. So I'm related to Ozzy Osbourne. That's pretty cool. There you go. Omega Red. That's awesome. J Fighter. Snyder said everything he wanted to do at his grand reappearance, and it did not sound very good. Yeah, I'm just going to wait, J Fighter. I'm just going to wait for it to come, and then I'll watch it. And then I'll see. I'll judge it on that. I mean, I know it's not getting. I don't think it's getting released in theaters, so it's only going to be on HBO. So it's going to be it's just going to be there to watch anyway. I mean, I'll be interested to watch it to compare, because I have problems with the Justice League film that we have now, and I don't think it can be as bad as Batman vs Superman. So, but who knows? Who knows? I did recently just watch Justice League Apocalypse War, the animated one, and that was really, really good. I was watching and I was like, oh, I want a live action version of this. Like, the way they used John Cosentino? The way they used his character was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He was such a good character in that, and I'm so intrigued to if they can do something like that. Live action would be freaking amazing. Omega Red, I could be immoral. Yeah, so J Fighter, oh, trust me, when it comes out, I'm gonna be that one that comes to your channel ranting about how it's worse than Batman vs Superman. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait, J Fighter, because it's not coming out until 21 anyway. So I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. I mean, it's gonna be cool. Adam Grants, what was your reaction when Goku turned Super Saiyan for the first time? Okay, so I was a kid, and when I was watching it, Goku just hit him with a spirit bomb, and we're all like, oh, okay, cool. Frieza's gone. Goku's used his trump card. And then, because I hadn't read any of the mangas or anything like that, I was just a kid. And then I remember Frieza being alive, hitting Piccolo, and then picked up Krillin, killed Krillin. And I remember being like, and then just when Goku started going angry, I was like, oh no, what's going to happen now? And then as you see his hair, like it was just one of those like chilling moments where he just, and he goes like that. And he's like, I'm going to make you suffer. And as soon as he said he's going to do that, we were just all, me and my brother and that, we're like, Frieza's fucked. And then when he went Super Saiyan, it was just one of the coolest fucking things. And then Vegeta went Super Saiyan, it was even cooler. And then Gohan went Super Saiyan 2, was even cooler. Oh, yeah. So good times. Oscar Legend. Is Magneto the father of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch? He is in the comments. He is in the comics. But in the MCU, he's not. I don't think he's going to be the father. So that's going to be something that's not going to be proper. But I believe in the comics, Magneto is the father of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And in the MCU, he's not. So that's another thing they're going to have to tackle as well. Schaefer, let me just say this. If they keep the story, I'm going to hate it way more than Batman vs. Superman. Well, we're just going to have to wait, aren't we? Sunflower, hey, how's it going? J Fighter, what's your ranking of the Spider-Man actor? Mine, from worst to best, is Holland, Maguire, Garfield. Holland, unfortunately, sucks. Holland is my favorite. I think he is the best of both. Then I would go probably Maguire because he's the OG and like the one I grew up with. I like Andrew. Like, I don't hate any of these. Garfield, I like Andrew Garfield as well. And I thought his take was different and it was refreshing as well at the same time. So, I mean, I like Holland because I think he's the best of both of them. And then you've got the nostalgia with Maguire. And Garfield was something different, which I really, really liked as well, because you got to make these characters a bit different and give them their own spin as well. Otherwise, you're gonna get stale, and it's just gonna be the same character over and over, just played by a different actor, and it's not gonna feel fresh or new. Which is what when the first Amazing Spider-Man came out, I had no problems with the first one. I quite enjoyed that one because it's something different. They took a different step, and yeah, they gave us a different version, which I like as well. So, and to me, I think Tom's more got the best of both. That's just my opinion. So, Jay, if I could do a twist in WandaVision or something else where it's revealed Magneto or survived, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen because WandaVision's supposed to tie straight into Doctor Strange. So I don't think they will put anything with Magneto in it. That's just me. And because they were already in talks with making WandaVision and that before the actual deal with Fox went straight through, before it went through, so they couldn't actually legally do anything with the characters. So, and then they were. So I don't see how they're going to do it. That's just, yeah, I don't see Magneto appearing at all. So, J5, to me, Holland was the worst of both worlds. I disagree. Sunflower, Tom Holland's my future husband. Adam Grands, what is the worst comic book movie you've ever seen? Catwoman with starring Halle Bell. I can't even say her name. It's Catwoman. It's trash. It's trash. It is terrible. Don't watch it. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it. And then it's followed by Batman vs. Superman. Omega Reds, Habs, don't make me hate Tom, huh? J Fighter, Maguire and Garfield capture the heart of Spider-Man while Holland does not. I think all three of them do in their own way. It's just different iterations of the Spider-Man character. And that's what I like about the Spider-Man character. It doesn't feel like they're the same character, all three of them. They're different. They have different strengths and different weaknesses to him. And like you could argue Andrew Garfield's a bit too cool to be Spider-Man, but I like that as well because it's a different take on the Spider-Man character. So I don't have a problem when people go, oh, but Andrew Garfield he's too cool to be Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, but this is a different iteration of Spider-Man. What if Spider-Man was a bit cooler? He wasn't such nerdy. Like, this Spider-Man is in a different generation where Tobey Maguire was more that older sort of Spider-Man. if you know what I mean. He was sort of an older Spider-Man, where I think Tom Holland's a more younger Spider-Man that is more, trying to figure out things. And because he's in this giant universe, like, you got to take it as well. Maguire and Garfield aren't in a universe where there's other heroes, where Tom Holland's is, and Spider-Man's trying to fit in with all these big players like a Thor, like a Iron Man, a Captain America. So he's trying to fit in as well. So, but that's what I like about them. They're all different. So, Javo, I get that they're different iterations, but you don't have to like every iteration, and you can adapt source material and change things while keeping the core of the character. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not saying you have to, but this is, to me, I like different iterations, and I think the core of the character's still there. And I think after Far From Home, getting that across that this is Spider-Man now. It's not Iron Man Jr. or anything. This is now Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man 3 is going to be the time where you see him start to really develop and become the Spider-Man that we've all grown up with. I think you're going to see that now in Spider-Man 3. And then whether or not they do another deal, which I don't think they are, then he goes over to Sony, back to Sony, and he's in the Venomverse, and who knows what could happen then. So, Oscar Legend, I hope Spider-Man 3 2021 won't be. Yeah, no, I mean, if Kevin Feige's behind it as well, like helping, it's not going to be as bad as Spider-Man 3. It's not. I'm really intrigued what they're going to do with Spider-Man 3 and stuff. What I really want, I don't want them to use Kraven the Hunter. I don't want them to use Kraven in Spider-Man 3. I don't. I want Kraven to have his own movie in the Venomverse, because I want Kraven. To me, you can do a very good dark movie with him. This is my ideal comic book film. I want a Kraven the Last Hunt live action. I want a dark R-rated version of that. I think that would be phenomenal. And you know what? I would like to see it as a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4. Get him in, have Kraven the Last Hunt R-rated with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in it, to get, like, that would just be fucking phenomenal to me. So, J Fighter, Spider-Man 3 will be exactly what we've already seen. I absolutely do. The identity reveal will be a joke like Aunt May finding out his secret, and Tony will continue to be involved in some way. No, I mean, I don't think they are going to use. I think they are now moving away from. I don't think they're going to do it with Tony. I don't think Tony is going to be like a focal point in Spider-Man 3. I don't see that. Altec, Omega Red, Altex, how cool would it be if the Blade reboot, they cast Wesley Snipes as Blade's mentor, which would be great. Passing of the torch and great fan service, and prove that he is the real Blade. No, I'm not on board with that. Sorry, Omega Red. I don't want him to cast Wesley Snipes in this film. No. And from what I've heard, he can be a bit of a freaking pain as well. And I don't think Kevin Feige wants to go through this pain with him. So I don't really particularly think he should be in it. I think if you're rebooting, you just reboot the whole thing. So, but I can understand what you're coming from, Omega Red. But to me, I'm not on board with that. But if you are, then that's cool. They might do that. I don't know. I mean, if they do it, I'll still watch it. So, Jay Vida. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Tony motivates the Spider-Man 3 villain. I don't know who they're going to use as the villain. I don't know who they're going to use. It's going to be interesting to see who the villain of Spider-Man 3 is, but I don't think it's going to be influenced by Tony. I think it's going to be more influenced by maybe potentially what Mysterio did at the end. That could be going in. So yeah, but I do, because all these movies have been about Tony in some way. I mean, he motivates all the Spider-Man villains. I mean, he didn't really motivate Vulture, though. Tony didn't motivate Vulture. Vulture was motivated to keep food on the table for his family. Like, he did everything what his motivation was, I need to support my family. So I'm going to steal this crap because this is my job. This was taken away from me, but I need to support my family. So that's his motive behind everything. His drive is to make sure that he can get stuff on there. The Vulture is a great villain. He has so many layers to him, and that's his sole purpose there. I've got people to feed. He says it at the start. I've got mouths to feed. I've got people to make sure that I can put food on their plates as well. So he's all driven by that. So I would argue he's actually not driven by Tony at all. I don't think he is. So Omega Red, am calling shots on the... Yes, I have heard that he could be in there. The Chameleon could be the villain. That would be an interesting take. I thought he was going to be in... what's it called? I thought he was going to be in Far From Home. And there was a theory that I was going to be in there. It was quite a good theory. So... Adam Grant, what do you want to see happen next in Dragon Ball Super? I want final battle between Goku and Vegeta. What do I want next in Dragon Ball Super? I want them to do the Moro arc that they're doing in the manga. It's really interesting right now. I want to see that because they're not relying on transformations. Like Ultra Instinct in the manga right now, Omen actually lost to Moro and Vegeta has turned up. Vegeta went to Planet Yardrad to learn this secret spiritual technique, and when he learns it, he just goes normal blue, but he seems very, very confident, and he says he's got something that can beat Ultra Instinct, and he doesn't want to learn Ultra Instinct. So I like the way they are going with using techniques rather than transformations to beat the villains. I think that's a great way to do it, and I want him to do the Moro arc. Otherwise, I want him to do the Planet Sadala arc. I mean, they've teased that so many times so far. I want to see the Planet Sadala arc. I mean, I think every fan wants to see it. That should be the next one. I think the final battle with Goku and Vegeta, I don't think we're ever going to get that. I think it's going to be one of those ones where it's like they start and it's open-ended. But I don't know if they will go down that route. But I do want to see Beerus fight Goku and Vegeta. Like, I want to see Beerus at full strength, so that's what I want. So, J-Fighter, he motivates Volta. Did you forget? Because Tony ruined his business, he had to do that. That's why he gave Peter the speech at the end. But then I could argue that Iron Man inspired all the villains in the MCU then. That I could say that. I could say Iron Man inspired all the villains in the MCU, except for like obviously the Thor ones. I could say he's some way down the line, the Starks have influenced every villain in the MCU. So I mean, Iron Man's a major player in the actual like MCU, so people are gonna hate him, and when he's gone, people are gonna be like, "Oh, Tony's gone." And Mysterio says as well, everyone's looking for the next Iron Man. And he's like, well, this is my chance to take that spotlight with this technology. But then he doesn't realize that if there's an actual threat, boom, he could kill them all. So, Omega Red, it would create a great sense of paranoia between Peter and... Yes, it would. It would. I'm interested to that. So, yeah. J-Fighter, plus these series aren't dramas. They hate drama. These are dumb comedians with elements of drama, not fully explored because, as we all know, drama is too interesting. Well, I don't know what you mean by that one, J-Fighter. These series are dramas. They hate drama. Are you talking about Space Force? J-Fighter, how did Iron Man inspire all of them? He didn't ruin all of them. What did he have to do with Hydra? Or Abomination or Malekith. Hell, I said you could take the Thor ones out because he's obviously out there. Well, Abomination, you could say him and the Hulk are triggered by Captain America because of the serum. You can say that. Iron Man's a major player. He's done things that he's not proud of that can influence so many things. the Spider-Man series is too focused on being Spider-Man's a comedic character. He's an asshole. He makes fun of people. He does in the comics, throughout the animation, everything. He's a smartass. And that's what I like about the Spider-Man character. I want Spider-Man to be more of a smartass. I want him to be in the middle of a fight making jokes. That's what I want. That is peak Spider-Man. To me personally, they need more of that. Yeah, but his dad made it. His dad made Captain America, so he's still technically a Stark. So a Stark made it. So the Starks are still influencing things. So it all triggers from there. So the Starks are there. So because the sins of the father fall on the son. So if the Stark's doing it, and then it's Tony still doing it as well, because he's a Stark as well. Because that's the same thing with Whiplash. Why would Whiplash go after Tony if Tony's dad did something to his dad? Why would you go after Tony? Tony has nothing to do with it, but he does. Can't have it both ways. So if he's going to go after Tony when Tony's got nothing to do with it, you can then say Tony is still doing that. So and they read Rick Jones and Betty Ross have confirmed for She-Hulk and the possibility of Hulk series. I don't think I'm pretty sure I saw an article in that Mark Ruffalo and that it was saying that there's no plans for Hulk. There's no plans. They won't do a Hulk. They can't actually do a Hulk movie or a series because Paramount owned no, not Paramount. Is it Paramount? Or Universal? Universal Paramount. One of the two actually own the distributing rights to Hulk. So they can't technically legally make it without them. And Disney won't let them distribute that. Disney want to distribute. So I don't think we'll see Hulk in... They can only use Hulk as a secondary character. He's not going to get his standalone. So, Jeff, okay, Spider-Man is a smart aleck, yes. However, these movies shouldn't be comedians. Spider-Man stories are dramas with elements of comedy. Yeah, I found there was drama in Far From Home for me. I enjoyed the drama. So, I mean, this is going to be one we're going to have to agree to disagree. So, Starks influence things, but Spider-Man villains are directly influenced by him. What about the Avengers? Ultron. Stark influenced him. I mean, everyone plays a part. I mean, Odin influenced Thanos to executing his plan. So does that mean Odin is like, there's just, the Starks are a major player. Iron Man is a major player. People are going to absolutely hate Iron Man. And once Iron Man's gone, those people are going to rise up because the hero's not there to stop them now. They're going to rise up and go, you know what, this is my chance to take it. And Spider-Man happened to be the only one there. Thor's off-world. Like Nick Fury explains it, Thor's off-world and that. So this is one we're going to have to agree to disagree on as well. So J Fighter, Far From Home, in my opinion, has elements of drama, but was a comedy at heart. Well, I can say the same for Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok's funnier than Spider-Man. You could say the same thing about Thor Ragnarok. So I liked Far From Home. I liked how balanced it was. To me, it was very balanced, and I enjoyed it. It's going to be one where I have to agree to disagree on again. So yeah, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that one. There was something else I was going to say. I can't remember now. Oh, yeah. Did everyone see... did everyone see the Film Attackers is ducking me now? I mean, come on, bruv. He was out there calling me out on stream saying how he's going to beat me in FIFA. He could beat me in FIFA 15. Like, talking himself up. And I was like, all right, let's go. I'll verse you. Let's do this. Let's end this debate right now. Let's see. And now he's ducking from it and saying, oh, no, I'll fight you in UFC instead. So he wants to settle a FIFA discussion in the octagon. I mean, it makes no sense. So, and plus, I made my my video first, so technically my challenge was out first. And if he ducks it, if he wants this UFC fight, he's going to verse me in at least a game of FIFA. He has to verse me in at least a game of FIFA, and then I'll verse him in UFC. I've never played UFC, so I don't know how to play it. So yeah. Brad, how's it going, Brad? If you like Dragon Ball Z, I highly recommend watching Record of the Grand Crest War. Never heard of that, Brad. I wonder what. Let me have a look. I'm going to look this up. Grand Crest. Oh, Record of Grand Crest War. Here we go. Oh, it was a novel. Okay. I'm going to have a look at that, Brad. I'm going to have to check that out. Omega Red. Hilltop's film said that he doesn't like the MCU Spider-Man because he's not really flawed, even though throughout the whole movie, Peter is constantly messing up and people complained about it. I know. Peter is flawed all the time. Like, he's a young teenager. Like, he wants to be a kid, but like, he doesn't want the response. Like, he just saw Thanos and stuff like that. He just seen Tony die. He just wants to be a kid now. He just wants to be a kid. He just wants to live a teenager life, get with the girl and stuff like that. And when he sees Mysterio and he's basically blind because he's like, so like, I just want to be a kid. I want to find someone that can do this instead of me. And that's why he trusts and makes the mistake of giving him the glasses. And then he's got to now go, shit, well, I made a mistake. There's no Tony Stark. There's no Captain America. There's no Thor. There's no Captain Marvel. There's no one here that can help me. Either I just sit back and not do anything about it, or I just have to somehow find a way to do it. So, I mean, but you're never going to please everyone. That's the problem. You're never going to please everyone. So you just have to, go for it. J Fighter, Ultron was an Avengers villain, not a Spider-Man one. It works there because it's not a Spider-Man villain. When you have him influence two Spidey villains in a row, it's a bit ridiculous. But then I could also say that Loki actually inspired the Vulture. Because if Loki doesn't come down and wreck New York City, the Vulture doesn't have a job and start it. So technically, really, Loki is the whole starting piece to influencing it. And that's how it all starts. If Loki doesn't come down. So the Avengers is actually the catalyst for the Spider-Man villain. And so technically, really, Vulture could be more, you could say, is more motivated because he was given this technology by Loki. And now, once he's had a taste of it, he wants more of it. And then once it's ripped from him, he wants it. So, I mean, you can see it either way. J5, he doesn't like him for similar reasons to me. Little drama, terrible representation, and also little relatable problems. I have to disagree with you, J Fighter. I just have to disagree. It's very confusing. People just can't decide what they want in their Spider-Man, even though it's the version of Spider-Man and not the definite Spider-Man. J Fighter, he complained that Spider-Man isn't flawed enough. He said, I want a Peter Parker who's always having problems. Everyone has a definite Spider-Man. Everyone has an idea of who he is. MCU Spider-Man is nothing like what I see in Spider-Man. No, he didn't make it. He complained. Look, okay, so see, what I'm going to counter with that is I keep an open mind about these characters because, yes, you can say this is my ideal Superman, this is my ideal Spider-Man, this is my ideal Captain America, it's my ideal Deadpool, my this and that. What I do is I go in open mind and go, okay, this isn't going to be my ideal person, but I'm going to look at the universe it's in and base it on the universe. And to me, the MCU Spider-Man fits in with the universe it's in. He fits in with it. Where if I took his Spider-Man out and put him in the Tobey Maguire one, it wouldn't fit in. And then, yes, it would be a terrible iteration of Spider-Man because it doesn't work in the universe. But I think It's the same if you take Maguire Garfield and put him into the MCU. It doesn't work. It's based on the universe. That's how I see these characters. It's all about the universe that they're in and what is the tone of the movie and stuff like that. And to me, this Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, works in the MCU. That's how I see it. I try to go open-minded and go, I'm going to judge it based on the universe because, to be honest, if I could have my ideal Spider-Man, he would be more along the lines of like a Deadpool, so to say. He would be an absolute smart ass. Like, I mean, I would have my Spider-Man be a complete smart ass, mocking the villains left, right, and center all the time. But that, to me, won't work in the MCU. That wouldn't work in the MCU. That wouldn't work in Garfield's universe, and that wouldn't work in Maguire's universe. So I've got to just put that to the side and go, you know what? I've got to go with it. And it's going to be the same with Deadpool. If they put Deadpool in the MCU, he's not going to be the same Deadpool I've seen in those two movies. And to me, that's Deadpool in those movies. So I've got to then take that out of my mind and go, I'm judging Deadpool based on the MCU universe, not Deadpool of old. And that's how I go into these things. And the point I was trying to make with the different speech I made was that you aren't going to like every encounter. At some point, you're going to have issues. Yeah, it is. Like, that's what I mean. You're not going to be able to please everyone. You're not going to be able to please, like, there iterations of these characters, because there's just so many iterations and stuff like that. Someone's going to like this Spider-Man. Someone's going to hate this Spider-Man. It's just the way it works. It's with every single character. As soon as you, like Batman's, for instance. I mean, there's so many Batmans you can choose from. Which one are you going to like more than the other one? Some people say Christian Bale isn't a good Batman. Like, there's just things like that. Some people say Ben Affleck isn't a good Batman. It's just, there's just going to be different iterations that you're not going to like and stuff like that. And that's perfectly fine. That's just, it's basically, at the end of the day, it's all subjective. Like, we all going to see these characters differently. So, I mean, it's good to have a discussion about it. And then you can see where other people are coming from. You can see, okay, I can see why. Like, I can see why Jay Fighter doesn't like the MCU Spider-Man. I can see that, but to me, I have to disagree with him, but I understand where he's coming from. And people that don't like it, I can be like, okay, cool. Because then I can also see where, like, I still like Garfield's Spider-Man. I have no problems with it. But when people say he's too cool for Spider-Man, he's not Spider-Man to me, I'm like, I can see what you mean, but in this universe, he fits that role. He's Peter Parker, fits that role, that universe. So that's just how I see it. Yeah, I know, Omega Red. Like, you can't, like, some things on the comic book page don't translate well to the screen. Like, I mean, the Wolverine is a perfect example. Could you imagine if they did the Wolverine character and they took that suit from the comics and put it on the big screen? That suit would not work at all. So you've got to adapt. So that's what it is. You just got to adapt. It's all about adapting. So you can't take everything from the comics and do it piece by piece. Like, look at The Lion King, for instance. They did a live action shot for shot of, like The Lion King is a perfect example. So they did The Lion King shot for shot of the animated film. Basically, it's a shot for shot. People hated it, and they're like, oh, it's a shot for shot and stuff like that. I guarantee you, though, if they didn't do a shot for shot and they took parts out and replaced it and did different things, people would have been like, oh, why are you changing The Lion King? You should have just done shot for shot. So no matter what, you're in a lose-lose situation anyway. So you just got to pick one and go with it. So that's just how I see these comic book films and iterations of these characters. It's just keep open-minded, go on. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Simple as. Like, no one can tell you you're wrong. Jay Fighter, yeah, sometimes we just aren't going to agree. Yeah, like we've had this fight about, what's it called? Man of Steel. Jay Fighter is banned from talking about Man of Steel because we just talk about it for hours. So, yeah, but that's like that. We're just going to have to agree to disagree on that. Batfleck, to me, isn't a good Batman. Holland isn't a good Spider-Man. But that's because I don't like what he represents. He doesn't feel like Spider-Man. And that's perfectly fine. If that's how you feel, that's fine. No one can tell you that. Yeah. Omega Red, I honestly think Wolverine's suit would work if they made it more tactical. You have to adapt that suit. You have to adapt the suit. But I mean, come on, the tight yellow pants, and it would look fucking stupid, to be honest. It would look really, really, really stupid. Like, it's the same with the Falcon. Imagine if they took the suit from, like, the proper suit of the Falcon. It wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. You'd be like, well, that doesn't work. Like, you have to adapt these. Like, you have to adapt them. That's just how it is. And for me, it's the Superman suit is perfect. I know that it's iconic to have the red underwear on the outside, but it just doesn't look cool and make sense. So I'm glad they got rid of it with Henry Cavill's Superman. I'm glad they got rid of the red underwear because it doesn't translate well. Like, I just never understood that when they made the Superman character. I'm like, why did they do that? Who thought we put red underwear on the outside? That'd be a cool idea. So I'm glad they got rid of that now. So, but yeah, it's just no one's ever going to agree. So we just all have to do it. But yeah, with the suits, you got to adapt it. That's the thing. You got to adapt it. But if you take it straight from the comic book and put it straight on the screen like that, it wouldn't work. So you got to adapt. I think the yellow would work. They made it work for Captain America, and the classic Falcon suit is supposed to make an appearance in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah, I'm not saying the yellow wouldn't work. I'm just saying if you took it as the suit was off the page and put it on, it wouldn't work. You have to adapt it. And that's what they did with the Captain America one. They took the idea and the colors and that, but they adapted it. They changed it and made it to look and work. Like, to be honest, the first Captain America suit, like in the Avengers, it's nowhere near as cool as the other ones, my opinion. But I think you could do the yellow, but I think you've got to adapt it in a way. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting how they do the X-Men and the Wolverine and stuff like that. I mean, I'm very interested. That is probably one I see. And as for the Falcon suit, the classic one, that's going to be interesting to see that in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm interested to see how that's going to look. So, J5, the classic Superman suit is amazing. Yeah, it's iconic. It is iconic, but I don't. Yeah, I know it is, but I just think it doesn't. I think now in the era we're in, it's kind of like a bit cheesy, in my opinion. So I just don't think it works in this era. I think back then, yeah, it works, but now we're in this era, it just doesn't look properly. Like, it just looks cheesy. It's like the Power Rangers suit. Like, imagine, like, you watch the old Power Rangers and go now. It just looks cheesy and just looks cheap. But yeah, it is definitely a classic. It is a classic. And it will always, the Superman suit will always be that. Like, that will always be known. But I'm just, for the movies and that, I'm glad they got rid of the red underwear. Omega Red, don't make it spandex. Just make it military style. Just take Cap's suit, remove the sleeves and the color pattern, and ask for the mask you can make. Yeah, Omega Red, yeah, I'm with you that. Like, they have to, like, alternate it. They have to, like, adjust and adapt it to fit the universe that it's going to be in. So that's just how I feel. Like, for instance, the Green Goblin suit in the first Spider-Man would not work in the MCU, would not work in the MCU at all. Like, think about it. When that was made, that worked, but now, if you did it now, it just wouldn't work. So, but yeah, you just got to adapt. That's what it is. Just add the yellow color palette, and you got to have the stripes. Yeah, you can adapt the yellow, but I don't know if they will. It'll be interesting to see if they go down that route or not, or how they're going to do it. So, and the Fantastic Four suit's going to be interesting to see how they do that as well. I'm interested to see how that looks as well. But yeah, there's so many things that are very interesting right now going on. So yeah, interesting. I mean, great. I just want him to wear that badass mask. Yeah, because Hugh Jackman never wore it. So I mean, you could make it work. You could make it work in the MCU. So it would be interesting to see if they do go down that route and use the mask or not. So, J Fighter, ranking of Batman actors. Mine from worst to best. Clooney, Batflex, West, Keaton, Kilmer, David Morales, Conroy, and Bale. I'm going to go Ben Affleck as my... That was a hot take, I know. Ben Affleck as my best. Christian Bale next. Michael Keating. Conroy. Kilmer. West. Clooney. And I haven't seen enough of David Mazos, I think. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. I haven't seen enough to judge him. I'm going to leave that one out because I haven't seen enough to judge him. He's the one from Gotham, I believe. As soon as they started turning that into Batman, I mean, I just thought, no, I tapped out. But you know my thoughts on that. I haven't seen enough of him, so I'm not going to judge him on that. So I wouldn't really say it's a hot take. I mean, a lot of people, David Mazouz. Okay, there you go. No, a lot of people would say Bale is the best. I've seen a lot of people, so. Omega Red, it would be funny if it was a prototype of Cap's suit and it still has the Avengers symbol on the shoulder and Wolverine replace it with a Canadian flag. That'd be pretty badass. Imagine if Wolverine killed Cap and stole it. Ooh. So I saw this thing on Facebook, and it was like, if Hela wasn't defeated and the Ancient One wasn't defeated, Thanos wouldn't have gone through with his with his plan. I saw that theory, and I don't agree with that theory. I don't agree. I think what was the catalyst for Thanos actually going ahead and going, I'm going to do this myself and go and do it, was I actually think Odin dying was the catalyst for him, because I don't think the Ancient One or Hela could stop Thanos, because once Odin went, Thanos then goes to Xandar, decimates it, takes the Power Stone, and in that time, everything's happened in Thor, and that's when they meet. And I think even if Hela was alive, Thanos with the Power Stone, I think would have just... Because all he had to do was destroy Asgard, and her powers aren't unlimited anymore. She has... Like, her powers go down dramatically, and it's stated in Thor Ragnarok. She gets her power from Asgard. So you destroy Asgard, she loses power. And I think Thanos would still then wipe her out like that. Or she might even turn and go with Thanos. Who knows? Because she is... well, she's supposed to be like the god of death, but who knows? But I don't think the Ancient One could have stopped him either. I think once he got that, and then once he got the what's it called? The other stones as well, before he met the Ancient One, he would have still wrecked her. So that's just... I don't believe the theory. I think Odin was actually the catalyst for him to going through, which is my theory. So Jay Butter, yeah, I put Kilmer above Keating, and I hate Ben Affleck. Actually, you'll be surprised. A lot of people didn't like Batfleck. I personally did. I think I really enjoyed it. I thought Ben knew the character, knew Batman was the character, and Bruce was the mask. I think he understood that. It was just a shame that we didn't get context into his character's origin. I think that's what let it down. I would have liked to see a Batman film with him first, so we got an idea of the character, more of the character, and why he's doing certain things. I think that's what was missing. To me, that's what was missing. So, Omega Red. I don't know, because Cap and Logan could have been World War II buddies, and it would have been badass if they said Logan was one of the prisoners that Cap saved from the Hydra base. Yeah, the only problem with that is if Logan was alive then, and that means mutants had to be alive, and that whole history is sort of like, well, why haven't they been discovered and things like that? Like, there's too many like plot holes and everything to do with the mutants if Logan was still there. I mean, it's a cool concept, and I do like it, Omega Red. I think that would be a cool what if, but I just think in the MCU that wouldn't work because of all like the story issues, the plot holes, and that you have to go through and try and explain, and it would just fuck up the continuity of the whole MCU. So I don't think they would, but it's a very, very cool concept and idea, and that would be pretty cool. J Fighter Superman actors ranking. I'm just gonna list best because there's too many. Welling, Reeves, Daly. Also, Arrowverse Spider-Man is great. Henry Cavill's the best Superman, followed by Christopher Reeve. Then probably Welling, and then Brandon Routh. The Superman in the Arrowverse is absolute trash because what they did is, which is what I hope they don't do with what's it called, Superman, with Henry Cavill Superman in the movies, is they use Superman to put over Supergirl, and they diminished the Superman character to put over Supergirl, and you don't do that. There's no reason why you have to put a character down to put over another character. It's just like, oh, this Superman, we'll have Supergirl just be better at everything and be better, and just who needs Superman? What's the point of him being there? And just absolutely being stupid. So I don't like that iteration of Superman at all. I think it is what they did, they mistreated him, and I'm scared. I hope they don't do it with Henry Cavill Superman. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree there with you, and that's what I'm scared. I'm scared they're doing that with Batman as well, in the Batwoman as well. That scares the crap out of me. I'm thinking, if the rumors are true and Batman is Hush, because I've heard rumors that in Batwoman, Bruce Wayne's gonna be Hush. I mean, it's just gonna be like all over again. Like, oh, it's just, it annoys me. So Omega Red, mutants could be in hiding in the MCU and maybe reveal themselves in the X-Men movie. You could, but I think that's a lazy way to do it. That's lazy writing, in my opinion, to just say, no, they've been hiding. I think that's just lazy writing, and it leaves too many questions that are unanswered. Like, okay, if mutants are, well, why haven't we known about this? Like, there's just so many things that would be like, it wouldn't make sense. If they did that I would be really pissed off if they did that, actually, to be honest. Jay Vita, Bale understood the mask. He is a completely different person in the public eye. The real Bruce Wayne is inside, only known by Rachel and Alfred, also Fox. There is literally a speech at the end of the Batman bit. Yeah, no, I'm not. That's why I have Bale at the second. Like, it's close. It's between Bale and Ben Affleck. Like they're really, really close. Like, it could change any moment. Like, it could change. If I could, I'd put them both at number one. I just think we were missing that element of Ben Affleck's Batman, of not having that movie to really flush his character right out. But yes, I do think Bale understood it as well. And I think the Alfred and Bruce Wayne dynamic was much better in what's it called, in the Dark Knight trilogy. I think that chemistry and that connection between them two was just so good. Like, that was so good, and that was that to me is Bruce Wayne and Alfred to a T. Like, that is my ideal Bruce and what's it called, Alfred relationship in the Dark Knight trilogy. To me, that was perfect balance. J Jay Fighter, no, I found out Hush is disguised as Bruce. Well, that's good then. If that's the truth, that's good because I'm still scared they're going to. Well, they sort of have. Like, I mean, when they had the line of, "Oh, I'm not going to let a man take a what's it called? What does she say? I'm not going to let a man take credit for a woman's job." And then it's like, but yet you just took everything the man owned. You took all his gear to be able. It's like, why do you need to do that? Why do you need to say that stuff? Why? Just why? Like that's the problem I have. Like it's just putting, like Into the Spider-Verse does it perfectly. They put Miles over without diminishing the Peter Parker character. They actually elevated the Peter Parker character in Spider-Verse. They actually elevated it, that's how you do it. They put Miles over while elevating him as well. And that's the key. That's the balance you got to find. There's too many times I've seen characters being put down in order to put a character over. And that's just shouldn't have to happen. That's just my take on it. Jay Fighter, the Dark Knight trilogy does everything perfectly. It does do some things perfectly. It does. I mean, it's really, really good. Nolan really nailed that out of the park. Jay Fighter, they already ruined Bruce. Batwoman killed him in Crisis. Oh my God, really? See, there you go. They are. That's what I mean. Like, why does Batwoman have to kill him? Why? Oh, that's right, because we've got to put her over. So why don't we kill this iconic character? Let her kill it. To say, look, Batwoman's better than Batman because she killed him. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You don't need to do that. Yes, I do know Ruby Rose left the Batwoman role, so I don't care too much for it. So, and I don't care for the CW verse, to be honest. I really don't. Just couldn't get into it. So, I'd probably watch Batman vs Superman, then watch the CW. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not into the CW. That's just me. So, yeah. Omega Red. I mean, they did the same thing with the sorcerers in Doctor Strange, or they can say that mutants are public, and plus the MCU did have Hulk and Thor after Iron Man. I just think there's just too many. There'll be too many ink. So I would then argue. So the mutants, you could say what they were hiding, and then you could be like the sorcerers make more sense. That makes way more sense. Like they're hiding, but the mutants hiding. No one's like there would be things where you would start to see and you would know that okay, there's something going on here. It just, to me, it's just lazy writing to say they were hiding, and then we're gonna get a Magneto that's like 80 years old because of the timeline. That's my only problem. So that's my problem with it. I just think it would be too lazy, in my opinion. Jay Fighter, Bagzo Man killed Conroy in Crisis. Supergirl threatened him causing him to defend himself with kryptonite, and Batwoman electrocuted this man to death. See, why do they do that shit? That pisses me off when they do that shit with the characters like that. It's like, that's why I don't watch the CW. I mean, I hope they don't do that with Thor in Love and Thunder to put Jane over if she turns to female Thor or whatever. As long as they don't put Thor down to put her over. If they do that with Thor, I don't think Taika will do that. I trust Taika. So, yeah, I mean, Taika's doing a Star Wars film as well. So, man, that's going to be so sick. He's doing a Star Wars film. Oh, I can't wait for that. That's going to be sick. J5, I think they're going to do that in Thor 4. That's why I just don't. No, I don't think Taika's going to do that. I honestly don't. I don't think Taika would do that. And I think Thor's never been hotter than he is right now. And I mean, if they did that to Thor, that would be something pretty fucking big. I mean, they would lose a lot of fans, I think, because Thor's a beloved character now. And he's the last OG from the 3 that's still there. So I don't. And you still got Thor for the Asgardian, so I don't think Taika's going to do that. I don't. I trust Taika. I trust him, and I trust Kevin Feige to not do that. So, yeah. Omega Red, WB originally wanted the first Flash movie to be Flashpoint, which would have been too early, thankfully. They're saving that event for his third movie if Ezra stays, though. I'm going to have to disagree with you, Omega. I think they should just do Flashpoint right now. Reset the whole universe because Ben Affleck's not coming back as Batman, so you need a new Batman. How do you get Robert Pattinson's Batman into the DCEU? You do a Flashpoint. You reset everything. I would do. I don't see the Flash getting 3 movies. The Flash hasn't even got a first movie, and I don't know if it's going to happen. Ezra Miller's not going to be the Flash. He's not going to be the Flash. Not after everything what's it called? Not everything that they have that's happened with him. I don't see them having him. So I don't think he's going to be the Flash. But yeah. So I think if they want to reset everything, they do the Flashpoint now. They would do a similar story to that so they can reset everything and like try and refix it all. But I just don't even know we're going to get this Flash movie. The Flash movie should have already been out, the first one. So I don't think you're going to get a three Flash. I don't think there's enough content there to make. I don't think Flash is an interesting enough character that people care about to warrant 3 films. So I just don't see them going down that route, unfortunately. So yeah. But if it was me, I would do Flashpoint now. I'd be getting that ready so that I could reset the whole fucking universe and stuff like that. So I can then get Matt Reeves' Batman into it. Like then you can do things and mix things up, and then you can actually have it all planned out and properly set in motion and stuff. But I mean, who fucking knows what they're going to do? So, J Fighter, Flash is the Hawkeye of Justice League. He doesn't need a soul. Yeah, I just don't find the appeal to Flash. So I wouldn't be too. One movie to me is enough for Flash. One movie is enough. I think Flash is that secondary character you have in other films to help out the other heroes and stuff. But to me, yeah, I just wouldn't do it. What I would rather have than a Flash movie would be a Green Lantern Corps film. Yeah, I'd rather have a film about Green Lantern Corps. That to me would be sick. So, but I also saw that there could be, if Cavill signs on as Superman as well, I think Abrams is the first one that gets first dibs or something at the Superman movie if they decide to make a sequel to Man of Steel and make a second one. So that would be pretty cool. But yeah, so that would be interesting to see what develops with Henry Cavill's Superman. Omega Red, I mean, that event that happened with Ezra Miller's Flash and CW's Flash, where they met, could have affected the DCEU, which could explain Pattinson's Batman and the recasted Flash. Yeah, but I think they just put that in there as fan service, to be honest. I think that was just put there in fan service, not to have anything. Yeah. And yeah, some of the shit that Ezra Miller's in now, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad stuff. So, Jeff, I mean, I love Flashpoint, but they've already proven they can't handle such an amazing material. I know, but if you get the right director in, you could do it. So, you could do it. It's just a matter of getting the right people. So, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. But if I'm them, I get the Flashpoint done so that I can fix everything. Yeah, they did. Yeah, Ezra was there for fan service. That's all it was. That whole Crisis thing was how many people can we get back as fan service? Like, there's just so many. Like, that's why Tom Welling came back. That's why Brandon Routh was in there. It was just all fan service. That whole thing was just fan service. That's all it was. It was just pure fan service. Just get all these different iterations of the characters that people love and put them all in one thing. So, yeah. But Red, I know I don't like Ezra's Flash. He's too young and the suit's ugly. There's just so many problems with the Flash character. I think they could have utilized him a lot better, but I think we're going to have a new Flash. We're going to have a new Batman, unless they use Robert Pattinson and somehow weave that in. Hopefully Henry Cavill comes back as Superman. You still got Aquaman. You still got Wonder Woman. So Cyborg, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Cyborg, how they're going to use him. So J-Fighter, I know they'll ruin Flashpoint like they did Superman, Batman, and the Justice League films in general. Man of Steel is great, my opinion on that. And then Batman vs Superman went downhill. Justice League was okay, wasn't the best. I think Batman needed a solo movie. See, okay, this is what, if I'm in charge of the DCU, this is what I would have done. Man of Steel, perfectly fine in my opinion. I would have started with that. Cool, that's done. I would have then done a Batman solo movie as well. That's what I would have done. I would have done a Batman one, given more context to this Batman we have. Then I would have done the Wonder Woman movie. I would have done that. And then I would have done my Aquaman movie. Then I would then move in to the Justice League. I would have you could have like the Suicide Squad as like the villains or something of a Batman movie. I mean, you could do that. I don't know why they made Suicide Squad. That was just so random. That made no sense. But then I would verge into the first Justice League. I would do that where you could say Steppenwolf comes down. He's the main villain. They defeat him. And then you get into the next phase. You do Man of Steel 2, which is then you do with where Lex creates Bizarro as the villain of that, which I think would be cool. Then you do your Aquaman 2, Wonder Woman 2, and you do your Batman 2. Then you introduce your Green Lantern Corps. You introduce them as well into this universe. You introduce them. Then you have Darkseid come in. You have Darkseid come in, and he's the major villain. He gets 2 movies. They defeat him. Then you do your third and final Batman. Then you have your third and final Wonder Woman. Your third and final Aquaman. You have your second Green Lantern movie. Then you can move on to other characters. You can bring in John Constantine, whatever his name is. You can bring him in. You can then start introducing the Titans as well into it. Then you do your Man of Steel 3 with the death of Superman. Well, no, actually, you don't do the death of Superman on that one. You do a Man of Steel 3, and then you verge into one big Justice League movie where Doomsday is the villain, and you have the death of Superman right then and there, and then you move forward without Superman. Like, you could even have Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. Actually, no, I'd probably keep Batman alive, but you could do then you could do Doomsday kills Wonder Woman and Superman, and you move forward. You move forward with those characters. To me, that would have been the way. That's how I would have started and got it up and running. I think using the death of Superman so early hurt it. Using Doomsday so early hurt it. How the way Doomsday was created hurt it. I think the impact of Superman dying and then having him stay dead has way, way more impact moving forward. Because then you go, shit, Superman's not around to save everyone now. Like, this is now different. and then you proceed on. That's how I would have started it. So, if I have Batman and Suicide Squad be chasing after Joker, Batman wants to get Joker, but so does Waller because Joker can put her in prison if he is caught. Yeah, that would have been. You could do that in the first Batman. That would have been pretty. Like you could do that, or you could even have that as the second movie in the Batman one. You could introduce the Joker in the first movie, and then have that as like the thing coming forward or something like that. You could have done that. Omega Red, they should have had Starro as the villain for the first Justice League, just like how they had Loki as the first villains. I think Steppenwolf could have worked because you could have used him as a stepping stone to get the Darkseid. I think that you could have done. You could have done it that. I just think they didn't execute Steppenwolf well at all. Like, he's got no character in it. I think you could have done that. You could have gone down that road of Steppenwolf, have him as a stepping stone to lead to Darkseid as the big bad in the next two Justice, and you have two Justice League back to back. Because that's how I would have done it personally. I would have done that. So it would have been like you have your Wonder Woman, your Aquaman, your Batman, and your Superman movies, and then you introduce the Flash and Cyborg into the Justice League. You have that. So you got 5 movies. Then you've got 5 movies under your belt, and then you have your sequels, and then boom, you throw in the big bad villain on like the 11th, 12th film. That's how I would have done it. Like Gotham mixed with Daredevil, a Batman series, like Gotham with Daredevil. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I think, if you're making a Batman TV series, I think you go a bit darker, to be honest. I'd like to see a darker Batman series. So I think, what's his name? Matt Reeves' Batman's going to be dark, apparently. Apparently it's going to be dark. Jay Fighter, I think Darkseid works as a first villain. You could do Darkseid as the main villain of the first Justice League. You just have, I think Darkseid, you have 2 back-to-back films with him as the villain. I think you could do, you know what, you could do that. You could do Steppenwolf half of the first one, and then Darkseid comes in, and you have like a back-to-back. Like, so you have your first Justice League, Steppenwolf's like the main villain, and then like they kill him, and Darkseid appears at the end, and then you go straight into the next Justice League with Darkseid straight away. You could do that. That would be pretty interesting. So, Daredevil and Gotham are both TVMA. Yeah, I would really like to see a dark Batman. I hope Matt Reeves' Batman is a dark version. I really want to see that. So, Jay Fighter, fun fact: did you know in Superman's first comic he was the villain? Who Darkseid was the first Superman villain? Is that what you're referring to? Omega Red, I checked out that Alfred TV show. All I can say is was probably really bored when they came up with the show, so they decided to fuck it. Let's make a James Bond TV show. I wouldn't put it past them. No, if that is true, Jay Fighter, I did not know that. Oh, Superman was the villain in his first comic. Was he really? I mean, it's been that long. Let me have a look at this. Was he? No, Superman was the villain in his first comic. There you go. There you go. Bit of Brightburn, was it? Bit of Brightburn. Man, I wonder if they're going to pick up on that universe and make a dark universe out of that. So that'd be pretty interesting. That's my highest viewed video. Brightburn. What is it? Brightburn Future. Yeah, are they going to be a dark universe in that? So yeah, Jeff, I haven't seen Brightburn. It's good because what I liked about Brightburn is it took the Superman idea in that, but yet flipped it on its head and made him evil. And it's interesting. Like, it's a low budget film. It's not like what was the budget? I think the budget was like $9 million or something. So it was not like an expensive movie. Let me have a look. Brightburn was 6 to 12 million. So, yeah, so 6 to 12 million. It's a low budget one, but I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool. There's some pretty brutal fucking kills in it too. So I would recommend watch Brightburn. It's cool. So, Jay Fighter, what videos are you working on for this week? What videos am I going to work on this week? I don't know yet, to be honest. I haven't planned it. Tomorrow, Sunday is normally when I start to plan an idea of what videos I want to do and stuff, and start working on Monday's video tomorrow. So, to be honest, I have no idea right now what I'm going to do. I don't know. I don't know yet, Jay Fighter. I don't know what I'm going to do for videos this week. I'll come up with something. Jay Fighter, man, I have like my entire year videos. What? Man, I have like my entire year of videos planned. See, I did have like things to be planned, but then the whole coronavirus ruins it. So like it's hard now because there's no movies to review, and some movies like Marvels and stuff like that. So when Black Widow comes out, then it's like I can do Marvel films, like do stuff based around Marvel and that. Same with like DC and stuff like that. But things change all the time, and sometimes I get a really, really good idea out of nowhere and go, oh, I'm going to do that video. And yeah, sometimes it just depends what I feel like doing and stuff like that. So I just try and go week by week because some things could happen. Like there could be major news drops one week, and I'm just like, cool, make videos out of this and stuff. So I don't know. I don't want to plan all my videos out in a year because then I'd have to plan. So at this point, because of quarantine now, I'm doing 5 videos a week. So I don't really want to sit down and do a plan all year. Like, what? That's a lot of fucking videos that I'd have to plan out, and it's just, yeah, it's just too many. So I just try and go week by week. Amir Red, I bet you guys money that Warner Brothers probably has a dashboard in their CEO's office with hundreds of sticky notes on them, and all of them are all the films they abandoned and keep telling us, no, it's not coming. They probably have like, what's his name? Who's in charge there? Who's in charge? I forget who's in charge of the I forget who's in charge of there now. So yeah, but he probably does have things like that. Like they're hopeless at Warner Brothers. I mean, I don't know, but the direction they're going in now is working. So I hope they continue in that. Jay Fighter, I'm doing a Spider-Man PS4 video, an Amazing Spider-Man series, an MCU Spider-Man video, and a Nolan series. Also, MCU ranking video and some Star Wars videos. I don't own a PlayStation, so I haven't played the Spider-Man game. So yeah, but that'd be interesting. I'll be checking them out so I can leave comments. You know, Red, hey mate, did you check out that reaction I made to my old videos? Nearly killed me recording it with all the cringe. Yeah, I did watch that. Yeah, I did one as well, reacting to some of the ones I made like years and years and years ago as well. And yeah, when you watch your old ones, it's pretty fucking cringe. You look at it and you go, what the fuck was I thinking back then? But yeah, no, that was funny, mate. That was good. So yeah, I mean, I might do, you know what, Jay Fight, here's a video this week. I might actually react to my very first video on this channel, my very first movie review, which was on The Predator. And boy, oh boy, was it fucking terrible. It was terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. So yeah, I've got some pretty bad. Like, but that's the thing. Like, that's how you get better. You just got to post. Like, your first video is always going to be cringy and crap, but you just got to move, evolve, and develop, and get better and better. I like to think my videos are 100 times better than the first video I made. So, but yeah, I might do that as a video. So thanks, Omega Red. That's actually not a bad idea as well. And there you go, Jay Fighter. That's a video for you. Omega Red, I was fucking 12 in those videos, and I was chubby as shit. Yeah, I was when I did my video reacting. I would have been about, oh god, well, that was 8 years ago. So I was about 19 or something like that when I made those. So I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, we literally had like a camera like this, and one of us was playing and one of us was standing behind just filming the screen. That's why it's so bad quality. Oh gosh. Jay Fighter, man, I hate watching my old videos. I was such a cringe ball. My first video was just me shouting at my phone. Oh, my first video is the worst editing job. The worst, like, I was fucking terrible. It was so bad. Like, I watched it and I'm like, oh, this is so cringe. I watched it like a couple of months ago and it was so cringe. So I might have to do a reaction to my first videos and see how bad they are. J5, hey dude, I just you. What? I don't know what that means, J Fighter. I mean, you. Yeah, retract that message. That made no sense. I just you. Oh gosh, unbelievable, unbelievable. Oh, my foot's sore. I don't know why. Let's have a look. J Fighter, this one's for you, mate. Right? Someone said they were going on a break, right? And they just made 2 videos called what the WTF are you talking about? Part 1 and Part 2. So yeah, there you go. So much for a break. I mean, Red, if that reaction hits 1,000 views, I will recreate my first video. Interesting. I might actually. Do I want to watch The Predator though again? It's so bad. Do I watch it and redo it? So yeah. J Fighter, hey dude, I just uploaded my Batman Begins video to see if it would get blocked, and I think this is the first time I haven't been copyrighted. Oh, there you go. My videos, when I use those things, normally just get copyright claim. I've only had that one issue that one time with Disney where they blocked it. I don't know why, they're fucking idiots. But other than that, they're just always like, oh, copyright claim. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's cool, whatever. I don't care. You can do that. But yeah, and then someone obviously flagged my video, so I had to fucking shuffle things around, and then fucking flagged it again, and then just. J-Bar, that's no surprise that one guy lied. Like, yeah, he does. Oh man, I didn't even watch it. I don't care anymore. I just can't be bothered. Like, they're just so bad. Like, I don't know who he's talking about. I wonder, has Milk uploaded his video yet? Because May the 31st, he's supposed to go on his break. So I'm wondering if has he uploaded part 2 yet? Not yet. Still waiting for his part 2 because his part 1 was really, really good. Oops, I just banged my thing. J5, I have problems with studios and fair use all the time. I haven't. I only had it that once, so that sucks, bro, that you have problems with them. Obviously, you're using illegal content. Nah. Yeah, no. So I've never. I only had that one problem, so. Oh, God. I mean, Red, hopefully Jackass 4 happens because I want to see Steve-O, someone in the balls. I don't think Jackass 4 is going to happen. Steve-O's doing his own thing. He's doing his own thing. I don't think Jackass 4 is going to happen. I just don't. I don't see Johnny Knoxville and that putting themselves in harm's way at their age. And Steve-O's doing his own thing. So, Jay Fighter, my Gotham video, the one where I shouted you out, got claimed hard. I had to fight for that video. Same for the Iron Man 3 video. Man, that would have sucked. So, I don't mind if mine get claimed, but it's just I don't want them to block it. That annoys me when I block. And I only had that happen once. So, I can't say that I've had the same problems, Jay Fighter, but man, that sucks if that's the case. If they're blocking you, that's just bullshit. See, that's what I get all my videos. I just go on YouTube and I download those videos to use from that are on YouTube. Because then my argument would be when what's it called? When they say, oh, you can't use it. I'm like, well, it's on YouTube already, and it's obviously not blocked, and it's not from your official account, so how can you block it? So that's just why I use that stuff. So Megarad Steve and Johnny said it's happening, plus Steve-O said he's always wanted Tommy Lee on Jackass. So yeah, that's one of those ones on Megarad where I believe it when I see it. It's one of those ones. So until I see it go into production and it's happening, I don't buy it. It's sort of like a Flash movie at this point. I'll believe it when I see it. So yeah. Jay Photo, oh yeah, I'm talking about getting blocked. I don't care when it's claimed for monetize, but when it's blocked, yeah, that was I got really bullied when Disney blocked mine as well. So I mean, I totally understand that. That's the most annoying thing when they block a video, especially after you put so much time and effort into it. Like, that's why I got so mad when my characters one, when someone flagged it, and I was just like, are you kidding me? I just put 8 hours into this fucking video, editing, shooting it, downloading, getting all the fucking what are they called? All the what are they called? I don't know. Like all the borders and pictures and shit like that, to get all that fucking organized and do that. I mean, just like, I was like, come on, man. I just spent 8 hours just doing this whole video, shooting it, editing it, fucking making sure it was right, editing all the fucking thumbnails, the title pages, everything like that, getting the videos, watching the videos, cutting them down as well. It's just, and then blocked it, and I was just like, get the fuck out of here. JFI, my Gotham finale video was blocked, and I spent 2 days on it. I was so mad. I disputed it, and it was never fixed. Yeah, fucking, it's just so annoying. I mean, I'm so glad I don't have too many troubles with it. So, thank goodness for that. So yeah. Hold on. Just want to see something for a second. Oh, that's funny as. It's funny as. That's funny as. That's 40 as. So yeah. Jay Fighter, you know what's worse? They claimed me for a clip I uploaded on my channel. That's why I just grab them off YouTube, because I'm like, well, if it's off there, why are they blocked there? But why are you blocking mine? But yeah, no, it's under fair use, so I don't know. They just, I don't know what they're doing. They just need to have someone that understands these things. So, but they don't. That's the problem. It's annoying. So annoying. Ow. That actually hurt. Oh, gosh, it's 1:30 here in the morning. Oh. Jeff, Disney does not care about fair use. You can tell them about it, and they won't care. They will just destroy your channel. Yeah, it's fucking. Yeah, Disney's the only one that I had a problem with that one time. That was it. I've never had a problem with anyone else. So yeah. So far, Albie and I are Sydney again. So you're going to Sydney again when all this coronavirus stuff is done. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's 10:34 a.m. here in San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, it's 1:35 here. It's friggin' late. So, Jeff, I've had problems with Fox, Warner Brothers, and Disney. I've never had a problem with anyone else by that one time with Disney. So, I don't know what you're doing, J Fighter. What are you doing that's like not working for them? That's cool that you're going to be in Sydney. I'm going Christmas time. I think is when I'm going to go down that way. So, yeah, because we were going to go to America, but unfortunately, things happened, and now we can't go international flights. So, yeah, that's a bummer. So, sucks balls. Why do they do this to me? Why? Oh, why? Jeff Otto, WB is the best when it comes to fair use. I've had problems with them twice. Yeah, I've never had problems, so I can't really comment. I haven't had any issues, so thankfully. But yeah. So But now you got me thinking, Jay Fighter, what freaking videos am I going to do this week? So I'm going to do the reaction one to my video. Do you guys want to see another tier list video? If you want to see another tier list video, I can do another tier list one because it's probably easier for me to do it on a Sunday because I have more time to edit it because that shit takes fucking ages to edit a tier list because I've got to sync everything and shit like that. It's just, yeah. So, but if you guys want another tier list, let me know what you want me to put in the tier list because I can do a tier list video as well. So I'm down. Just let me know and let me know in the chat what you guys want to see me do a tier list on. It can be anything. It can be anything. Like I've got one about fast food. I mean, if you want me to do one about other shit, just let me know. I can do that. It'll be fun. I don't mind making them. It just takes time, so I can do it. I can do it tomorrow and then have that as Monday's video, which would be pretty cool. So yeah. I'm talking to a friend from Russia. It's 6:34 over there, so we got all the time zones. Yeah. Yeah, right now I'd be normally watching the Premier League, so just waiting for that to kick back up so I can watch the Premier League. But yeah, at this time I'd be watching the Premier League, so I'm making a tier list on friends/YouTubers. Ooh, that'd be okay. So if I was going to do one on the YouTubers that I watch, J Fighter would definitely be in the trash one because he doesn't like Man of Steel. That's just a fact. Sorry, J Fighter. I'll put you down there. I'm just joking. So this would be my do a tier list on MCU and DCEU villains and heroes. That would be that'd be a long one to do it on. DCEU wouldn't be too bad because there's not too many. MCU, you got 23 films. The MCU one, I will get around to. I'm going to put that down, J Fighter. MCU villains and heroes. I'm going to get around to that. I'll get around to that because that would take a while to do because there's so many. So I might have to put that in part 1, part 2. I don't know. But DCEU, that could be one that I could do. But if I was going to do YouTubers, I would have True Geordie, John Campier, Mr. DT, Joe Weller, The Happy Hour, Film Attacker, Star Wars Series, Geekdom 101, Team 4-Star, Logan Paul, Chris MD, Sean Chandler, Stupendous Wave, World of Geekdom, Joe Santa Gato, Mini Minter, KSI, Spencer FC. Then I've got like my what's it called? Like Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, the Master Bucks. And then I would have to and then Arsenal TV, but then I'd have to go into like other things also. That'd be a bit hard to make. So, no, sorry, Omega Red. I do. You are on. No, I'm talking about these are the ones that I like watch regularly. So, if I was to do a tier list, I do the ones I watch like I watch Impulsive, True Geordie, Arsenal Fan TV, and stuff like that all the time. So. I don't know if I could rank them. So it'd be hard because I like all of yous. So, yeah. I don't know if I could do YouTubers. That'd be hard to do. That'd be very, very hard. And like, it'd be unfair for me to put like a Jake Paul, even because I don't like Jake Paul's stuff. It's not for me. But then I don't watch it regularly, so it's hard for me to have an opinion on it when I don't watch it. So, yeah, so it'd be hard. So, I don't really care. I don't really want to watch high top films, to be honest. Nah, I'm good. I don't want to. I don't know them. I don't really want to. So, Jeff, I don't like Stupendous Wave. I more listen to Star Wars Theory now than him. I used to watch Stupendous Wave, but now I just watch Star Wars Theory. I like his stuff better. I think he does a better job than what Stupendous Wave does. So I more watch Star Wars Theory than him. Logan Paul, say what you want. Yes, he was an absolute cunt, but now he is actually makes really good content, and his podcast Impulsive is so good. And I think the thing with Logan is he's grown up a lot now, and I think he's maturing, and his content is maturing. And because I'm only a couple of years older than him, so he's maturing into the bracket where I now consume that content. And when he's on Impulsive and that, they talk about stuff that I can relate to and stuff like that. And because I'm of that age, I think that's why I'm more watch Logan Paul now than his previous, because I wasn't into that. Now I'm into what he's doing now, and I find entertainment out of it. So, Jeff, why not Hip Top? He's great. He's a very talented, aspiring filmmaker. Okay, I just never heard, and I don't even know him, but I just don't really. I don't know. I just don't really want to. I don't know. I just don't want to. I might watch a video or two, but yeah. J Fido, we're going to have to agree to disagree on Logan Paul. I'm interested, J Fido, what your thoughts are on Logan. I'm interested because back in the day he was, but now he's really changed. So, all right, J Fido, I will check him out. I will have a look at his channel now just for you. So, I'm just going to do it. I will just for you. So. Just for you, son. Just for you. So yeah. But if there's any other tier list that you guys want to see, so we got the MCU heroes and villains, DCEU heroes and villains. Any other ones you guys want to see? Then do let me know. Emigrate, hey mate, which generation do you connect with the most? The beginning, Boomer, Headbangers, or Mills? To be honest, I have no idea. Let me just look them up. I want to see what the true meaning. Let's see. Was it the beginning? What I never. The only term I've heard is boomer. That's it. I've never heard of what the other terms are, so I'm gonna have to look these up. Because I know, what is that? There's boomers, baby boomers, Gen Y, Gen Z, or something like that. That's all I know. I don't know about the headbangers or mills, boomers, or the beginning. To be honest, I have no idea. I mean, if you could explain to me what they are, I'd be able to. Oh, I meant to put millennials. I don't connect with the millennials. I don't. Sorry. So that's one. I don't know what headbangers are. So, what is headbangers and the beginning? I'm interested. I don't know what those two are. So yeah, Jay Fodder, I will say this Logan is better than he was in 2017. However, I don't think he's really matured. I mean, did you see his apology? Are you talking about the one that was from 2017? Is that what you're talking about? His apology? Because I think what he's done now is actually really, really good. He has matured. He has matured. You just have to watch Impulsive. If you watch Impulsive, his podcast, you will see how much more mature Logan is. I mean, he came out on Impulsive this week and even said he's burnt out with all the content he's creating and stuff like that. And he says this was the exact same point he was in 2017 that just pushed him over the edge to keep making content because he felt like he had to. And now he's recognized that's what the mistake was, and now he's not going to make that mistake. He knows he's burned out, so he's going to slow down a bit and get his health back before he starts doing it again. So I have to disagree. He's really matured. If you watch Impulsive, you see a completely different side to what Logan was to what he is now. So, Jeff, I don't know. I just don't trust him. I think he's done he has done horrible things in the past stuff like that. I think now he is. I think he is mature and he's got a really good team. He's Mike Malak, who's there, who's like his best friend now, and who's really, really influential in what he does now. Is a really, really, really good person. Like that guy's story from what he's gone through, like. He's just put a book out. He's going to make a movie about his life as well. And it's fucking, the shit he's gone through is fucking insane. Like, it's insane. And I think with him there, I don't think you'll see Logan make those mistakes because the things that he is making Logan do and making sure Logan, like he will tell Logan, no, don't post this. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like he will say no. He's not just going to be like a yes person. And I think now that the team he's got around him, because it's not the same team he had, he's got a completely new team. And I think now he's got a better team and better people around him to help him make the right decisions. So yeah, that's just what my take on him. Omega Red. Headbangers are the people who were born in between 1970 and 1985. Which is the metal and punk era, and the beginning is the same as baby boomers. The generation I connect with is more so the 90s, early 2000s, because that's where I grew up. So I connect with that generation. That's my generation, is the 90s to early 2000s. That's my generation. All that stuff to me is my stuff. So, yeah. So that's just, yeah. Jay Fighter, I'll say he's better than Rice Gum. Rice Gum's just fucking, I don't even know what Rice Gum's doing now. Jay Fighter, do a tier list on Star Wars and Spider-Man films. I don't know if I'll do a tier list on the Star Wars and Spider-Man films because there's just not enough to me to do a tier list. I would more so do a ranking video on that, J5. It'd be better if I just ranked them because there's just so little to move him around. But if you were doing Star Wars characters, that'd be massive. But yeah, I just don't think there's enough to do a tier list for those two particular ones. I do more rankings, so yeah. But I wouldn't do this. Yeah, so that's just where. J Fighter, tier list on Clone Wars seasons. You can hate me even more when Kay tell you season 7 was mediocre. I can see your point why you would say it was mediocre. I mean, yeah, the whole that part with the sisters, yeah, that didn't need to be in there. But I just think those last few episodes were just so fucking good. So good. And I just liked how it was away from everything else that was happening. To me, that was I wanted to see that, so that was cool. So yeah, that's just my opinion. So Omega Red, the grunge era I see. Yeah, so like Linkin Park and stuff. That's where I grew up. I grew up that era. So like your Linkin Park, your Green Days and stuff like that. That was my era. I loved Linkin Park. That was my shit. J Fighter, I saw your original MCU rankings and commented on it. I know, I saw that. I did see that. I was going to comment back, but I was like, I'll just leave it. I'll let it just linger there for a bit before I say anything back. But yeah. I don't know. There's something about the Iron Man films that I don't really want to rewatch them. Like, if I feel like the only time I will rewatch the Iron Man films are when I'm gonna go re-rank them. I will rewatch, and when at Christmas time, I start like in November, and I start watching one like every week or something like that, like 2 a week or something. So, and I'll start doing that to things. So yeah, that's just me. So, but yeah, I mean, they're just the ones that I actually probably watched all the Dark World more than all the Iron Mans. I don't know why. I've never been a massive Iron Man fan, so that's just me. So, Jet Fighter, those last few episodes were the best Star Wars movie ever. They were good, but they're not as good as Revenge of the Sith or Empire or Return of the Jedi to me. So yeah, Amired, Nevada, the original. Mom, it's not a phrase band. Yeah, that my era, bro. That was peak for me. And then obviously my dad was into like your Led Zeppelins, your Metallica, your Pink Floyds. So I really, 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 really enjoy that music. Like Metallica, I love Metallica and that. So and AC/DC, like I listen to that because that's what my dad listened to and we grew up on that. So I like that stuff as well. So J Fighter, is it because I have Far From Home last? It is. J Fighter, Iron Man is a masterclass in filmmaking. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna disagree. I like Jon Favreau as a director. I think he's really, really good. There's something about him that just doesn't interest me, that I just don't resonate with, or something like that. Like it's just like, to me, it's just like, it's just something about Iron Man. JF, I have a lot of issues with Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith does have its issues, but it's fucking phenomenal. I love it. I actually really, really enjoy it. Like, it's so good. It's so freaking good. I love it. J Fighter, Clone Wars is my Star Wars, so I'm biased. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's the era that you grew in. You grew up when you had Clone Wars. So to you, that's your Star Wars, which is totally fine. I grew up in the prequel era, but also had the opportunity where the prequels weren't and watched the original trilogy. So I'm sort of like I'm in that middle period of I grew up watching the original trilogies as the prequels were coming out. So I got to see that full thing. So yeah, but Revenge of the Sith is always that's the one I rewatch the most. I rewatch Revenge of the Sith the most. I mean, to me, that battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan is the best lightsaber fight in Star Wars, in my opinion. I love that fight so much. It is just so good. But after I heard what Dave Filoni said about the Duel of the Fates and stuff like that with Qui-Gon and that to me changed. I now appreciate, yes, that fight with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul was really, really good. I now appreciate that fight even more because now the meaning behind the fight just makes it so much better now that, like, it's the fate of Anakin. If Qui-Gon survives, Anakin doesn't go down this journey of darkness. He will have the father figure he needs, but Qui-Gon doesn't. He dies, and now Palpatine has the chance to manipulate him and use him, and he doesn't have that father figure. And just there was just so many things and how it tied to full circle with Return of the Jedi. And now I even like the Return of the Jedi fight a lot more because of the meaning behind it. So yeah, Dave Filoni just opened my fucking mind up even more about it. So I may read, but I grew up more on 70s punk and glamour bands like Sex Pistols, the Ramones, The Clash, Black Flag, and Judas Priest. Oh, there you go. That's just my generation that I grew up with that stuff. And then obviously my dad was that. So yeah, but that's cool that you grew up on the 70s and stuff like that. It's interesting how things like that can get influenced by our parents for what they listen. You listen to it and you're like, oh yeah, I like that. So I think I'm more so the one that picked up the like rock side, like the bands and stuff like that. My brother's more down the rap and stuff like that. So it's interesting how things like that work out. J Fighter, Obi-Wan vs. Anakin is one of my least favorites and the one I hate the most. Oh, really? Oh, why do you hate it so much? I think it's absolutely fucking phenomenal. I think it is phenomenal. And I think it showcases like both of them at the height of their powers. I just love that fight. I think it's so awesome, and I think it's telling a story throughout that fight as well. So I'm interested. Why don't you like it? J Fighter, get Filoni or Favreau as head of Lucasfilm. I think Favreau would be better, but Filoni would be great too. One of them needs to come in. I think Filoni is the one, though. I think he's the chosen one. He was the right-hand man to Lucas, so he understands it, he knows it, and he's a fan. He grew up on it and stuff like that. So I think he will treat it with respect and will plan stuff out. And I think as a fan as well, I think he will give us the Old Republic stuff, which I hope we get. I really want the Old Republic. I just want Old Republic. I don't want High Republic. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to do High Republic. No one wants the High Republic. We want the Old Republic. So, J5, 1 second. I'll explain why I hate the fight in a second, but my device is acting up, so I'll be back in a couple of seconds. All right. I will sit here eagerly waiting for your reply on why you don't like Obi-Wan versus Anakin's lightsaber fight. To rank my lightsaber fights, I would go Anakin Obi-Wan is the best. Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan and Maul would be my second. Then I would go. Then I would probably go Luke and Vader in Return of the Jedi, just because of the meaning behind it. Now, it just elevates it up there for me. And then I would go the Maul and Ahsoka fight from Clone Wars. And then my fifth would be probably would have to be, I don't know what my fifth would be. I have to go through Clone Wars again to find it. But I want to see Mace Windu do some more. I wanted to see Mace Windu do more. I wanted to see him do more battle stuff. I want to see him fight a Sith. It would have been cool. So, yeah, I just think we could have got a bit more better way Mace Windu. So that would have been cool. But yeah, I'm waiting for you, J5. I'm intrigued. to why you don't like this fight. I love it. I love this fight. Oh man, this is so intense. Just I can feel the tension building as he's tight. I can just feel. All right, Jay Fighter. First of all, the fight is too long. It's way too long. Less is more. Second of all, the emotion is barely there because the previous films did such a terrible job establishing their friendship. Personally, I don't think it's too long. I don't mind a long lightsaber fight as long as it's like decent, which I think that one is very decent with the way that they fight. I'm all down for a long lightsaber fight. I have no problems with it. I mean, I don't think it went too long, so that's just for me. The emotion, I felt the emotion there. Because the way I saw that fight was, I saw when they were fighting, Obi-Wan wasn't trying to kill Anakin in that fight. So I thought the emotion was there. I could feel that Obi-Wan was trying not to. Because if Obi-Wan really wanted to kill Anakin, he would have killed him at the end there. And I don't think he wanted to kill him in that fight. So I felt the emotion of Obi-Wan trying to just see this fight out, to see if he can exhaust him. Jay Fighter. Also, the fight isn't really a conversation. The best lightsaber fights are conversation. Ahsoka and Maul have a conversation. Luke and Vader, Obi-Wan and Vader. A long fight would have worked if it felt emotion, if I cared, and it was. I have to disagree. I felt the conversation and the story throughout the fight and the drama through the fight. Anakin is enraged because he feels that throughout the fight, like he's using his rage because he thinks Obi-Wan has turned Padme against him and he's trying to tear down their relationship, and he doesn't trust him anymore, and he thinks he is blocking Anakin from saving Padme. So he's fighting with pure, I'm going to kill you because nothing's going to stop me. Where Obi-Wan's telling the story as he's fighting, he's just defending. He's not trying to kill Anakin. Obi-Wan never ever tried to redeem him. He just told him he was wrong. He did at the start. He was trying to tell him, like, dude, you're going down this. But at that point, Anakin is so driven for power to be able to save Padme. He's never going to be able to do it. And once he sees Anakin killing the younglings, there is no way, after seeing that, Obi-Wan thinks he can redeem him. He doesn't. He knows he does. He knows he can't. He knows he's there. Obi-Wan knows once you go down that dark path, you're down the dark path. You can't come back at that point. So, yeah, but in the monologue that he is giving to him, he is stating, look, you are wrong and stuff. He is trying to convince Anakin that what Anakin is doing is wrong. That's trying to convince him. That's trying to redeem him. That's what I'm saying. When you're saying you're wrong, you are being deceived, you're being manipulated and stuff like that, that's me saying to you, dude, you're being manipulated, that you're being deceived. You're like going down the wrong way. Like, come back to the light side. Come back here. Be reasonable. And that's what he's doing. But throughout the fight, Obi-Wan, to me, is defending, trying to wear Anakin down to where he's mentally broken because he can't get through. And he's trying to do that throughout the whole fight. He's not trying to kill Anakin. So I think there is a story being told there where he feels love for Anakin. He knows, otherwise he would have just killed Anakin. Obi-Wan would have just killed him after he chopped his legs, and he would have just gone up to him and stabbed him. Done. But I think he has that love for Anakin as a brother that he's trying to save him. That's what I felt as I was watching that fight. So I had the emotion. So, Ahsoka and Maul is my favorite saber fight, J fight, I just felt like there wasn't a lot of going on because I wasn't expecting Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting, which is a similar problem. I always thought they were going to fight, to be honest, because if you had Yoda go there and fight Anakin, Yoda would have whooped his ass. Simple as. So I always thought that they would fight. I always thought throughout the prequel trilogy, I was like, we know Anakin's going to turn the dark side to Vader, and I was like, Obi-Wan's going to have to fight him. There's just going to be some way that something's going to happen. And after A New Hope, and you got context of where Obi-Wan's throwing subtle hints about Vader and stuff, you start to understand as we watch the original trilogy that there is some sort of relationship that was built in there. And I think I always knew that they were going to square off. Always knew they were going to square off. So, and it was always stated in the first one. I'm pretty sure in the first fight where Vader and Obi-Wan fight, you can tell that they've fought before. So I always knew they were going to fight. Always knew that. Omega Red, my dad and his uncle passed the rock and roll passion to me, and my family finds it very unusual that a 16-year-old enjoys punk and metal bands. Some say that I'm really old and I'm a fake millennial. Screw them, man. Screw them. Rock and roll is absolutely insane. Excuse me. Screw them, Omega Red. Don't even listen to him. Don't listen to him. So, Jeff, oh no, I wasn't experiencing them fight. I knew they would fight. That's not what. I mean, I'm just gonna have to disagree with you. I loved that fight. I thought there was emotion. I felt like I was there. Jeff, I was just seeing two people fight. I wasn't experiencing or seeing two characters fight an emotional, impactful fight like Captain America and Iron Man. No, I have to disagree. I did. I felt like that. I thought Obi-Wan was just fighting to try and wear him down, wear Anakin down, so that when he's worn down and he feels like he's mentally drained to the point where he then can maybe get some sense to him. And that's why when he chops it down, he tries to talk to him. But at that point, Anakin's just pure rage. I experienced it. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I was invested in that fight. So yeah, I have to disagree with you on that. So yeah, I'm just going to have to disagree. I mean, why I like the Ahsoka Maul fight, I don't think there's as much what's it called? To me, see, the thing with the Maul Ahsoka fight is I don't feel like there's much weight on that fight. I didn't feel like the outcome really impacted anything or would impact it. Like, if you know what I mean, it doesn't impact the Star Wars story in a way because it's like they're not major players in the Skywalker saga. So to me, it was kind of like, why it's good and it looks cool and stuff like that. It just, I wasn't as invested in it. I think it's a cool fight, but I didn't think like there was stakes in that fight, to be honest. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think Qui-Gon's fight with Obi-Wan and Maul is actually better than that fight because there's so much weight, and the story in that fight is really, really good. It may even jump to number one soon. I mean, I got to rewatch that fight, but after hearing Dave Filoni explain that fight to me is now elevated even higher because that has real consequences to what happens. The outcome of that fight changes. So, Jeff, I disagree. There is a ton of weight in that way. It impacts Ahsoka's character and Maul's character. The only reason there's no stakes is because Rebel is a thing. Yeah, but then I just didn't feel like whoever won that fight was really going to change. Like, you still think there's no stakes in the Phantom Menace fight? Okay, so I would heavily disagree with that because the whole battle of Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan is the battle for Anakin. It decides the fate of Anakin. So Qui-Gon knows what it means to take Anakin away from his parents. He understands that. Qui-Gon is ahead of all the Jedis. You couldn't care less about. Well, Qui-Gon's ahead of all the Jedis. He understands that Jedi are supposed to still love and cherish things and have connection with people. He's way steps ahead, and Yoda starts to see that as he progresses as a character through 2 and 3 and onwards. Qui-Gon's ahead of them, and Qui-Gon knows what it means to take this kid up away from his parents, and he is fighting for Anakin because he knows he's the father Anakin needs. And I strongly believe this after Dave Filoni explained everything like that. If Qui-Gon had survived that fight, Anakin doesn't turn down the dark side of the Force. That's cool, but I just don't care about any of the characters in that film. Along with that, it's the most useless film in the saga. I actually think the Qui-Gon character is actually a quite good character, to be honest. I really enjoyed that character. It's a good setup one. It's a good setup film to, and so to speak, to like establish. Yes, it can be better. I understand that could be better, but the weight on that fight is very like that is high stakes, because if Qui-Gon wins, Anakin doesn't go down the dark side, and that shapes the whole universe. That shapes everything. So I don't see where you can say there's no stakes in the Phantom Menace when there is. So I don't understand how you can say there is no stakes in the Phantom Menace when that whole fight hinges on the whole saga. It hinges on everything. Everything is hinging on that one battle at that. Like, Qui-Gon wins, Anakin doesn't go down the dark side. Qui-Gon loses, Anakin is more likely to go down the dark side now because he doesn't have that father figure. And that, to me, is the way. Jeff, I didn't care about Phantom Menace characters creating no stakes from a film. But there is stakes. There's the fight. There is stakes in the fight. Whoever wins that, if Qui-Gon dies or lives, changes the whole outcome. So that is stakes. That is a stake, because the universe is in the balance right there. The whole Star Wars universe is in the balance of this fight. The outcome of this fight is going to change everything. And Qui-Gon dies, and Anakin is now being able to go down the dark side. Qui-Gon survives, doesn't. We don't get Vader or anything like that. It completely changes the whole entire thing. So I don't see how you can sit there and say there's no stakes. That's what I'm saying. There is stakes, there is high stakes, because that fight is the catalyst. That's why I said from a filmmaking perspective, from Star Wars, but on the merits of the film, no. Look, granted, George Lucas isn't the best filmmaker. There is a lot of problems in Phantom Menace. There's a lot of problems in Attack of the Clones. And there is problems in Revenge of the Sith. But that battle alone, it does have stakes. And I felt as filmmaker perspective that did have stakes. That's just my opinion. I think there is. I'm gonna have to disagree with that. So, I mean, the other stuff, yes. Granted, I'll admit it. Phantom Menace isn't perfect or anything. I'm just talking about that one little thing, that one fight. Everything else, I mean, it's not great. There's like so many problems with it. I'll give you that. Like, there is fucking a lot of problems with it. And Attack of the Clones has even more problems as well. So, and we had everyone. The gender of my nephew and niece was revealed. Ooh. Was it so you got a nephew, Omega Red? You got a nephew? Jeff, the battle is great. Don't get me wrong. I just don't care. I just don't care for the characters. I cared for when Qui-Gon died. I always cared for Qui-Gon when he died. When that happened, I was just like, I remember watching it, and when Qui-Gon died, I was literally like, well, what's gonna happen with Anakin now? I was like, what's gonna happen because I was like, Obi-Wan's just a Padawan. What's gonna happen? So I did care when Qui-Gon died because I was just like, I was like, what? Qui-Gon's dead? Like what? No. I cared. I have to admit, I did care. So, Omega Red, that's awesome. Congratulations, mate. Have fun. The best thing about being a uncle is you can always give the child back. So, that's one of the perks of doing it. You can look after it and then go, here you go. You can have him back. Boom. So, yeah, wherever you're the father or mother, you've got it 24/7. You've got it 24/7. And yeah. Omega Red, they even got a name for him. Oh, what is it, Omega Red? What is it? What's the name? Oh, what's his name? I can feel the tension. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, no. J5, man, someone just commented to me, I'm a Rami fanboy. Really? What was that on? What video was that, J5? They said that to you. Omega Red. Tommy Lee Martinez. Ooh, Tommy Lee, as in Tommy Lee Jones. No, it's from I know. I remember you said something like that. That was one of the names. That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. I obviously named my son Lionel after Lionel Messi. I did that. And then Kylie just liked the name Finley, so he named him Finn. But yeah, I always said, when I was growing up, I had always had this thing where I was gonna, what's it called? Always was gonna name my firstborn son Lionel. I just always was because I loved Lionel Messi, and I love him, and I was just like, I just want him to be called Lionel because Lionel is one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest, in my opinion. So yeah, so I was just like, Lionel. So Jeff Fighter, it wasn't one of mine. I left an opinion on an MCU Spider-Man video, and this guy responded, "Oh, J Fighter, you got to know some of them aren't as thick-skinned as me and can't just accept it and go, okay, that's your opinion or anything." No, they just want to. My apology. He called me a Rami boomer. Oh my gosh, really? Omega Red, it was my brother's idea. He's a big Motley Crue fan. That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. I mean, we all have these little things that we're fans of and stuff like that we want to call them. Just, I wouldn't go calling my kid Iron Man. No, just don't do that stuff. But yeah, J Fighter, that's pretty. See, that's the problem. Like, I won't sit here and call you a fucking names for not liking Man of Steel or anything like that. I mean, I just go, well, I'm just going to have to agree to disagree. It's your opinion, my opinion. We're just going to have to always agree to disagree on that. I would never call you a fucking, like I know you don't like the MCU, Spider-Man. I don't call you a Rami fanboy or anything like that. Like, that's just, as soon as you say something like that, you just know they've lost the what's it called? They've lost the argument straight away. Like, why do you need to call someone that? I mean, I call people MCU fanboys when I like say like, oh, when I comment on the Marvel post, they were like talking shit about all these other ones. They were talking shit about the DCU and stuff, and I just said, oh, well, to me, Man of Steel is better than all the MCU films, my opinion. And then they just come in and they just start like abusing me, and I'm like, geez, all right, MCU fanboys, because they just like, once you say something better than their product, they just fucking hate you. And I'm like, dude, come on, like, get off me. Jeff, I can't wait to make the MCU video because I know some MCU fans are going to call me the Amazing Spider-Man fanboy and Rami fanboy. Yep, that's what's going to. Well, I mean, dude, some dude left me a comment and told me, I've seen, where is it? I'm going to get this comment up about Breaking Bad, like on my tier list that I did on movies. I mean, not movies, on TVs. And this is what he said to me. Here we go. Here we go. He left this comment. He's like, I couldn't finish this video. I gave it a go. It's not like I'm giving it a dislike without watching it. I finished the first 2 minutes and started the third, and I had to tap out. So that video is actually like over 20 minutes long. So he didn't watch the whole thing to begin with. And then he goes to tell me, like, basically Breaking Bad's like the greatest fucking TV show. And I'm like, well, it's not for me. I gave it 3 seasons. It's not like I watched like 3 minutes out of a 20-minute video and went, I had to tap out. And I looked at the timestamp of that, and that was the exact moment when I put Breaking Bad in the good tier rather than the great and God tier. So you're always going to get those people. So he gave me a dislike and tapped out. So yeah. Immigrant, if I have 2 boys, am naming one of them Aussie, and my firstborn will be a junior. There you go. Over here, it's not really a big thing to call. I know in America, like having juniors and seniors and stuff like that, like that's pretty common. Over here, we don't. That's not very common here. Like to me, immigrant, you can do what you want. I'm just saying this is my opinion on the whole. Like, I mean, hold on, wait. Immigrant, do you mean like you're gonna name him your name but junior? So, like, for instance, I would name my son Alex Jr. Is that what you mean? Because I want to know if that's what you mean, because I'm going to tell you my take on that stuff. If that's what you mean, I will tell you my stuff. Unless you just mean Junior, as in his name's going to be Junior. So just let me know, because I'll let you know what my thoughts are on that stuff. J Fighter. It's like how a few days ago someone commented something on a video that was a joke, and instead of watching the video, read the title and took it seriously and left the most contradictory. Yeah, a lot of them do that. I mean, and then on that MCU one where I said Man of Steel was better, they're like, this one guy's like, he said something. He started attacking me straight away. He's like, oh, that's false. Like, that's a fact. And I was like, well, it's all opinion and stuff. And he's like, well, I'm here all day, so let's hear your side. I was like, dude, I just made a video. Just go watch it. And then he never commented back. So he said, I'll check it out. And then never commented on my video and never commented back on that thing. So yeah. Anyway, okay. So there's this thing on Facebook. There's this place called Zing. That's where I get all my pops and stuff like that. And anyway, so they had a okay, so they have a what's it called? This bracket thing going, right? And it's called Who is the Ultimate Pop Culture Character, right? So there's so many problems with this thing. So the first thing is these are the people participating in it. So you got Batman versus 11 from Stranger Things. You've got Iron Man versus Regina George from Mean Girls. Then you got Snape versus Black Widow. Then you've got Darth Vader versus, I don't even know who. Let me just go to the first one. Then you got like Darth Vader versus some person that let me just get up and I'll see if I can find it. Versus Ellen Ripley to start off with. So what I want to know is, why is Spider-Man, like, you got Black Widow in there and Iron Man in there? I'm going to say Spider-Man should definitely be there, and so should Goku, because Goku's a massive pop culture character. And you've got Regina George in there. I mean, really? 11 from Stranger Things. I mean, come on. I mean, that's pretty. I'm just like, come on. And then, anyway, so, and this, if you're talking about pop culture character, like if you're talking the ultimate pop culture character, you're taking everything into consideration, right? Snape beats Black Widow, which, yes, I understand. Snape is a bigger character in pop culture than that. I would have probably put Harry Potter there instead. Vader beat Ellen Ripley, which, fair enough. Vader is, like, massive. Iron Man beat Regina George, which he should. Regina George shouldn't even be there. And Batman beat 11. But this is where it gets interesting. So Vader is winning at the moment against Snape, which he's killing him. He's beaten by 1,000. But Batman lost to Iron Man. I have problems with that. Batman is a far more influential character in the pop culture industry than Iron Man has ever been. Iron Man's only relevant because of the MCU now. He's only been relevant for 11 years. No one else really knew about Iron Man until the MCU. Batman has been around for fucking generation and generation. I'm sorry, but realistically, Batman should have won that, been in the final against Vader, and really it's a toss-up then. You could throw it either way. I would still probably argue, if you're going complete pop culture, I would say Batman would probably be the most influential character in pop culture. Pains me to say that because I think Vader is very influential, but I think Batman's just been around that little bit longer, and I think he's more influential than anything else. I think Batman is probably the most ultimate pop culture character. So that's just how I see it. I mean, I couldn't believe it when fucking Iron Man beat. I'm like, and then I commented on one as well. I said something like to the guy about that. I was like, oh, dude, yeah, like it's the funniest thing. Where is it? I commented on it. I can't find my comment. Where is it? Oh no. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, because I commented on it, and this guy commented on it. And it's just like, I owned him in one comment. I owned him in absolutely one comment. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, it doesn't want to load now. All right, Facebook. Here we go. So I was like, hold on, you're telling me Iron Man beat Batman? If Vader doesn't win this, then I've lost hope for humanity. Because now, really, Vader should technically win. He should beat Iron Man easily. Batman was the only big threat to him, and it was between them two. And I would argue Batman is probably the most influential character in pop culture. Anyway, and then this guy's like saying like, basically, Iron Man is over Snape and Vader easily. And I said to him, please, Iron Man has been relevant for 10 years? Vader has been dominating for 40 years. Come back when Iron Man has been relevant for 40 years, then we can compare. And then this guy's just like, this other guy's like, Iron Man has been relevant for 10 years. And then he shows like the first comic of Iron Man. I'm like, dude, 90% of people didn't know who Iron Man was until the MCU. So it's just like, how can you say Iron Man has been relevant? Iron Man's been a character that's been shadowed by Spider-Man. I would argue Spider-Man's the biggest Marvel character. I would argue Spider-Man's the biggest Marvel character. I mean, I'm interested. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think Spider-Man's the biggest Marvel character? I think he's the biggest Marvel character, to be honest. And I think he's way bigger influence on pop culture. If you have Spider-Man, Batman, Vader, they would be the three that you could throw in like a Superman, maybe. Superman might be in there, but they would be the most influential pop culture characters of all time. Like, no way. So, yeah, exactly, J Fighter. Film shapes it. That's just based on MCU. I'm like, if you're talking about ultimate pop culture, you're talking about everything. Like, you're talking about the longevity of the character. How long's he been relevant for? Like, let's go back to the 80s and 90s. Were kids dressing up as Iron Man? No. What were kids dressing up as? They were dressing up as Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Vader. That's what they were doing. So I just don't understand why they think Iron Man's like this fucking great pop culture character. I'm like, dude, no. Let's go back in time. No one knew who Iron Man was until Robbie Downey Jr. played Iron Man in the first Iron Man. Simple as. Omega Red, yeah, he would be named after me, but he would be the fourth because my full name is Albert Fermin Martinez III. My dad is H. See, okay. All right. No disrespect, Omega Red or anything like that. This is what my problem with that system is. It's not massive over here, but I understand that is. And if you want to do that, that's cool. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. This is my stance on it. I would never name my kid after me because I want my kid to have their own identity, so to speak. Because I don't want them to live with, oh, so you're named after your dad, like have that sort of thing, if you know what I mean. I want them to have their own identity, their own name. This is them and not me, Junior, in a way. That's how I see those things. But if you want to do that, go for it. If you want to continue that, that's fine. I know it's bigger over there. Over here, it's not so big. I don't know anyone over here, but I know over in America, it's massive. It's like a big thing and stuff like that. So that's just probably our culture. That's probably just the culture difference we have. But that's just how I feel on that. So J Fighter, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are the biggest superheroes. Yeah, they are. I mean, I can tell you now, when I was a kid, I knew who Spider-Man was. I knew who Batman was. I knew who Superman was. And I know who Wonder Woman was. They were the biggest ones, the biggest superheroes. Easily. I always thought Wonder Woman was absolutely gorgeous. So there was that factor. But yeah, they were the biggest superheroes. They were. Like, I didn't know any of the other ones. I mean, I didn't know who Iron Man was. I didn't know who Cap was. Or anyone like that. I mean, I just don't understand how whoever the fuck came up with that bracket is a fucking idiot because they don't know anything about pop culture. Because one, how can you sit there and go, all right, let's make this bracket. We'll add in Regina George from Mean Girls. What world do you think she is influential in pop culture? Like, what? I just don't understand where the fuck they got that from. I mean, that made no fuck. Was it just like, oh, we have to put a female in, so we'll put I mean, I would argue, if you want to put female characters in, yes, you have Ellen Ripley. Yes, you have her in there. But you then take out Black Widow and then you take out Regina George. You put in Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor is more influential and a bigger freaking character in pop culture than both Black Widow and Regina George put together times 300. I mean, how do you sit there and go, oh, we're not going to put Sarah Connor in there? How? Everyone knows who Sarah Connor is. Everyone knows it. I mean, it's like, whoever made it needs to get fired and not do that again, because that's just fucking stupidity. Omega Red, singing competition. Who would win? 20-year-old Ozzy Osbourne versus Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. Ooh. Oh, that's a tough one, Omega Red. That's a tough one. Jeez, you're making me think now. Personal preference. I'm going to go Ozzy Osbourne. Personal preference. J Fighter, it's like the one video I made on J Station where I got a bunch of hate comments I told you about. Oh, yeah, I mean, some people, I might, you know what, J Fighter, I might make a rant video on that. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'll be able to film my tier list one to it and get that rant one in as well about that. I'm going to rant about that. Simple as. Simple facts. I'm going to rant about that, and I'm going to be like, if you want to do a fucking proper bracket, these are the characters you should have in this. I mean, you could even have fucking Pikachu in there, for God's sakes, because Pikachu's an influential fucking character as well. Everyone knows Pikachu and loves Pikachu. I mean, what the fuck? How do they forget these fucking characters? I mean, this would be my ideal bracket. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to tell you my ideal bracket. I'm going to do a rant video. I'm going to do my ideal bracket, how I would do it. That's what I'm going to do. And yeah, that's just how I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. So, J5, the only reason that video was big for my channel was because I was the first person that discussed what Jay did. There you go. There you go. I mean, people hate. People love to hate. I mean, they don't. If you say something bad about like someone they fucking love or anything like that, they just jump on you straight away. I mean, well, it's 2:30 in the morning here, so I'm probably gonna end the stream here because I'm tired. I'm really tired, and I need to do this tier list video that J Fighter wants and that you all want. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that rant video as well and do my ultimate bracket of pop culture. So I'll do that, and then and then I'll come up with some other videos to do during the week. I'm sure I'll come up with something. I might just make, I don't know, I'll tell it something. But yeah, so thank you for joining me. Have yourselves a great day. Stay safe. Let me read. I love Aussie, but I picked Plant because the bloke sang him a song. Yeah, I mean it's a tough one. Just personal preference. That's all I had to pick on that. It's just but I mean you can't go wrong, can you, Omega Red? You can't go wrong. J5, let me tell you, those J fans were telling me so much stuff. They were telling me to commit. Yeah, see, that's just wrong. No one should ever do that. That's just fucking bullshit. Don't even listen to those people. So, but yeah, so I'm going to end the stream here, guys. Thank you for joining me. Have yourselves a lovely day. Stay safe, and I'll be pumping out 5 more videos, and we'll be doing another live stream again this week and coming. So so stay safe, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.